Hi friends and fellow Earth Angels, it's Gladys, and welcome back to another one of my weekly Sunday card readings. And this spread will start by covering May 2nd to May 8th, or whenever you're guided to watch, as I always intend these to be timeless readings, meaning whenever it shows up in your feed or on your screen, that is the time that the messages are meant for you. So welcome. We are still under the powerful energy of the full moon in Scorpio. And what I keep seeing is secrets revealed, things that have been hidden coming up to surface, right? And I want to encourage the Earth Angels who are in this space and in these experiences to step into observer mode. Everything that's being revealed has information, has wisdom. There's like treasure wisdom in these experiences that may feel less than ideal, that may feel conflicting, that may feel challenging. And when you can explore it from a place of observation, and as in my own inner work, I'm told so often, with curiosity and compassion, you can then drop down into your body and gain wisdom into how you're feeling. So understand that when we have experiences, our body is programmed, and especially those who resonate with divine, feminine, dominant energies, your body has this innate wisdom to tell you, to speak to you, to show you, and we're now learning how to trust the heart mind, right? The heart wisdom, the compass that exists. And if we're constantly existing in the mind, analyzing logic and reason in giver mode, trying to figure things out, what do I do about this situation? This is where things can go awry, right? So I'm talking from the divine feminine perspective because last I checked, 99 to 100% of my subscribers, the people who are watching my videos, are feminine dominant. So, but also understand if you are masculine dominant, this is coming up for you now because your inner feminine energy is speaking to you, right? It also needs a voice, right? So, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter if you're dominant either side. Now is the time to get in touch with your feminine essence, right? Which is feeling the flow of love in life, which then brings balance, right? We need to experience freedom and a flow of love in our life. And as I say so often, it is right here, right now, in the present moment. So hang on tight to those reins. Trust your wild horses, that they know where they're going. I personally have to remind myself, and I personally see how fiercely protected I am as a spiritual being on this planet. I believe, I've come into this planet, Earth, as many of us, especially those who are guided to watch these videos, we've come here on this planet to experience the divine flowing through us as human beings, right? We've come here to tap into that innate wisdom that generations before us haven't been able to reach, and it's fascinating and exciting, and we're going to be able to, or we are reintegrating the energy of true love back on this planet. And partnerships, I know more than ever, people are digging into growing in love in their partnerships, in their romantic relationships, in their friendships. So I know the boat is rocking. So I want to encourage you to kind of be in this space of observation. As things go out, other things will come in. As things come up to surface, not everything do we need to remain control or do something about. So I hope that resonates. I hope maybe that supports you this week. Again, my claim to fame isn't a fortune teller or a psychic, but that does not mean that prophecy and being a prophetess isn't part of the work that I do, right? So I don't really know. This could be going on in your life now. It could be something that you've been through last week, or it could be something that's coming up. So there it is. So I'm going to do an angel reading this week. I'm feeling like we need our angel friends this week. So I should also mention too that we have just dropped into the month of May. This month of May in 2021 is, I just see an exclamation point. This is one of the months that are like exclamation point. I mean, I will talk about all the things as these readings go on this month, but we'll have an eclipse. Obviously, we'll have a new moon and a full moon, and we'll have planets going in retrograde, and there's all this fun stuff. And that's why I say, like, you know, looking at these things through observation, knowing deep in the core, like really strengthening your own empowerment, your own confidence, your own trust that your intuition will give you a heads up, right? Your body will tell you when something doesn't feel right. And this year, we're really learning how to trust that. We're really learning how to break these old cycles of giving our power away and settling with lack and unhealthy relationship dynamics, and understand you're going to feel like you're moving through the unknown. You're going to feel like you don't know what you're doing, but that's just, I feel like it's a lie, right? It's a lie that the you know, a part of the ego can tell you to keep you where you're at. So I see massive transformation for many this month. I see massive shifts. And in that, it means change. And, you know, in numerology, May represents a 5 month, but also a lot of numerologists, they add in the 2021. So it will also be a 1 month as well. So 5 plus 2021 equals 10, and 1 plus 0 equals 1. So we have new beginnings and change in a year, about transformation. And we've got a week left or 11 days, 10 days, or whatever left of this full moon in Scorpio energy, right? Secrets revealed, mysteries solved, things like that. So, all right, so that's enough about that for right now. So let's get into the cards here. So Archangel Oracle Cards is what I'm going to start off with. Then I'm going to give you a message of healing with the crystal angels. And then what you're going to be gifted with this week with the healing with the angels cards. And then spiritual insight, kind of like an action step for you with flower therapy. And then finally, we'll finish with angel prayers. You know, I always love this spread, these cards that I use. So unfortunately, some of these aren't available anymore. But if you do have them in your collection, I just encourage you to go into them and just read what the books say. You know, that will also charge up your own cards. That will also stir up the energy getting going. And like I said, it will also fuel your fire with insight, understanding, and support and guidance. All right, so let me start inviting in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the Divine Mother and Father, and all their holy beings of light that would like to assist. Specifically with the archangels. And I'm going to ask that any healing, any messages that come through be for your best and highest good, and the best and highest good of all concerned. All right, so let me see. Let me just take a deep breath. I can feel myself getting caught up already. All right, angels, calling on angels. I don't know. I know I'm just like random here, but I listened to Josh Groban just put out a video for his version of angels. I'm going to put, I'm going to put that in the description box below, because I feel like comfort may be needed this week, and nurturing, and, there's a lot of feelings and stuff going around. There's a lot of uncertainty and unseen, unknown, which is all good, friends, right? And again, I don't believe God takes anything away unless he's going to replace it with something even better. And that doesn't mean like better in the ego sense, but, in a sense where you may have outgrown people, places, things, and ideas and situations and experiences. So we're in this, like I said, this scenery change as spring on this planet, while in the northern hemisphere comes alive. All right, angels. What is the most important angel that wants to come to us and deliver messages this week? Okay, let's see. Let's begin. Oh, I'm so glad she came up. So, Angel Jophiel, and her message is patience. Patience with your journey, patience with your experiences, patience with your spiritual growth, and patience with humanity, patience with the divine. It says, Archangel Jophiel's message says, your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience, right? So, the more we want, the more we experience, the more we assimilate and process on the spiritual journey, the more our physical lives shift around us, the more our emotional, mental, and spiritual states expand, right? So as you're putting out this beautiful, healthy feeling energy, yes, this feels good, more of this in my life, or something even better. Remember, there's this balance on this planet. There's this duality, right? There's only so much energy for something, right? So yes, energy is infinite, but we can only do so much in the time that we have. We can only experience so much in a day. We can only, grow as fast as all the parts of us, right? So I feel like maybe you're in the space where, things, maybe energy may have gotten moving, and then it might have shifted into a standstill, or it might have shifted into like disruption, disorder, and distraction in other areas of your life. So remember, the more light you take in, the more you ascend. And again, this isn't something that's outside of you. It's as you go deeper into the heart mind, as you go deeper into the heart wisdom, right? The depth of, what do I want to call it? The depth of, it almost feels like when I connect with the divine and I go into connecting with the wisdom of the heart, it feels like space, right? Space is infinite, right? And science and discovery, and the discovery of space is never ending, right? There's always exploration. And now with technology, we're seeing advances in the exploration of space. And I feel like the same thing is going on with our own spiritual wisdom, insight, and journey here on this planet. We're being able to tap into higher levels of wisdom. And as you do that, right, it's kind of like math, right? You got to love math to advance in math, right? After, let's say, after high school, most of us, after college, most of us don't have to do math anymore. So if you don't like math, you're like, oh, I'm all set with that. But, for us spiritual, vibrational beings on this planet, we can totally immerse ourselves in like all facets of mathematics, but in the spiritual way, right? So you're here because you're exploring your own spiritual growth and your own wisdom and your own transformation as a spiritual being having a human experience on this planet, right? So as we do that, you take in more light. When you have those aha moments, when you do healing, right? When you expand and then you share that information, your light gets brighter, right? This is where, we just meet some people and they just look like they glow from the inside out. And you're like, man, I just love this human being and I don't know why, right? It's because they have done the spiritual work, right? And they have this activation of this inner light. As you do that, though, understand the balance is anything that's not a vibrational match to that will come up and out. This is why the spiritual journey can appear to be a constant space of dark night of the soul, right? It can appear to be needing to isolate or needing to go within, and we can have like emotional purges, right? Or people can come in and out of our lives, and what we're learning is that as our world and our life changes, there's wisdom in there when we can create. And I've been saying this, God, all through last year, when we can value nothingness, pause, stillness, quiet, rest, surrender, pause. What else have I not said? As we now tap into those words and start embracing the meanings of those, right? Sitting still and listening, being in silence. What happens is then we get an understanding of, and there's wisdom in why we have the experiences we have, whether you want to label them good or bad, right? Wrong, positive or negative. I mean, I suggest eliminating that. When you can look back at your experiences, and especially now with this full moon in Scorpio, when you can look at those experiences and ask yourself, who am I because of this? What have I learned from it? And how can I move forward? When you can get back into your feeling body instead of analyzing what people are doing, why they're doing it, when your mind is elsewhere, how can I fix this, save this, change this, make this better? It's like we're getting into entanglements, and this happens a lot in relationships, but it happens a lot in corporate environments or job environments. It happens a lot with neighborhoods and like the drama. So when we can kind of pull back and say, and get into our body and saying, this is how I feel, like I feel confused, I feel sad, I feel hurt, I feel angry, when you can really just admit that and get into that space. This is why I feel like patience is such a powerful word this week. You can then get wisdom of it. I know typically I can do this myself. Well, it's easier to dive into takeout and Netflix and cleaning everything top to bottom. But when I notice I'm doing that from a place of an emotional place, I'm like, oh, I'm doing it. Thank you, universe, for reminding me. And then I go and I sit down and I give myself space to process, to feel. And again, it's less than pleasant, right? And sometimes tears will come up, sometimes awarenesses will come up, but I can tell you, friends, that is what's helped me become more stable, grounded, loving myself on deeper levels, right? Being able to communicate with the people around me more effectively, right? So patience with your journey. Like that's the reminder. So what Jophiel? And so Jophiel is also the angel of beauty. So she can help assist to beautify your thoughts if you're stuck in, like I said, a situation, experience, you don't know what to do about it. You can invite the Archangel Jophiel in. She will get you outside. She is the angel that helps us get some fresh air, get outside in nature, to see the beauty that's all around us right now, right? Remember, total freedom and the flow of love is right here, right now, in the present moment. It would be so great for you to remind yourself of that when you find you're spending too much time upstairs in the brain mind. All right, Jophiel, what message of healing do you have for Earth Angels this week? It's the most important message they need to hear, see, feel, and know. Calcite, busy times and multitasking. Take charge of your schedule during this busy time and honestly assess your underlying reasons for being busy. Oh, I just said it, right? So ask yourself, so here's the thing. This is definitely an unconscious thing until it's not. So I may again bring this up, just for us to observe it, but being busy. How do I want to say this? Being busy all the time is not necessarily something to be rewarded. I know a lot of people, and I had done this for many years, that escaped into work to avoid, procrastinate, or put off deeper issues that I didn't want to deal with or they didn't want to deal with. I mean, obviously I saw it in other people because it was something that was going on within me. And once I realized that, once I was like, why does this keep happening? Like, why? And so unfortunately too, you have to remember that we live in a world that rewards performance, accomplishments, achievements, accolades, right? And so when I'm, like I said, doing busy work, or I'm trying to keep myself busy by doing things a lot, I then realize that, I don't realize. Once I notice I'm doing it, I can pull back and saying, okay. It's almost like you'll feel like there's this wisdom, this voice within you calling you back to yourself. And you're like, nope, I don't want to hear it. Nope. It's kind of like, okay, so the image that I'm getting is like when I was a teenager and I didn't want to hear my mom like, clean your room or do this or do that. And that's not very kind. And my mom didn't really talk like that. But when somebody was on me about something, right? I mean, I was raised by a single mother, so it was her. When she was on me about something, I would go to my room and I would turn up the music, right? And this is kind of that, like, remove yourself from the unpleasant situation and distract yourself. And I just feel like that may be something that might be coming up for you this week. How may you be distracting yourself? And there's this voice that's calling you back home, saying, I have the key. I have the wisdom, I have the guidance, but we're like, la, 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 I don't want to hear, I don't want to change, I don't want to know. And a lot of times this is unconscious. We're not even aware of it until we've eaten all the foods, we watched all the shows, we've cleaned the entire house, and we're still looking for something to do, right? And also understand too, whatever happens is going on in the inside is exactly what's going to happen on the outside. So if you're busy mind, guess what? Energetically, you're going to create busy all the things to do outside, right? So sometimes being busy can be an excuse. And here's the thing. I know there's a psychological term to it, but when somebody says to you, oh, I've got so much work to do, or I'm so busy, or I'm so stressed out with work, it's automatically going to tell that person, I don't have time for you, so don't bring up this stuff that we need to have a conversation about, or I don't want to hear, or I don't want to work on this right now. And remember, this is all unconscious, friends. And it sometimes it may not have anything to do with anybody outside of us, but it could be like the parts of us, the tug of war that's going on inside. Like there's this voice, this inner child, or this inner feminine energy that has wisdom or insight for you. You're like, nope, I'm too busy. I don't want to know. I've got this, I've got that. And law of attraction, law of magnetism will just keep creating more situations and experiences for you to be distracted and busy, right? And so I think this is the alchemy of the earth angels. Like we're learning this stuff, right? This is why, again, I talk so much about the value of creating regular pause, stillness, silence, nothingness, quiet, rest in your life, surrender. I think I've mentioned before, I'm doing a 6 week program with a private company, and it's discovering the gifts of the present moment, and the way it's unfolding, I'm like, oh my God, this is genius. Thank you, angels. Everybody needs to know this. So as part of my work is, getting into my inner masculine to get these projects done and out into the ethers. So, anything that's holding me back, any excuses that I'm having of why I can't do this, or again, this is stuff that will come up for you. So we're all in this space. So if you have calcite, great, get it. You can even screenshot, the calcite here, and just feel the energy and the angel coming to you. So let's see, with that all being said, what is being gifted to you through this experience? What are you learning? Or what's being gifted to you through this experience? Okay, so nature. So again, Jophiel, the angel of beauty. And then I feel like this is another Jophiel card. So if you can look at this color, it's like a pinky color that she's wearing. This is the color that I associate with Jophiel. It's this beautiful pinky color. You can kind of see it here in the wings here. But this is kind of like the light pink that I connect with Jophiel, which again is the feminine wisdom. So you're being gifted. Maybe you're being gifted with time in nature. You're being gifted with the wisdom that nature, like observing nature, can teach us, right? So in nature, everything has a cycle, right? We cannot grow for the most part tulips in the dead of winter. Doesn't happen, right? Especially when the ground is covered in snow. So I feel like I want to share with reminding you that you are in a season of your life right now. And if you're in winter and you're trying to grow tulips and it's not working, we can learn from nature, right? We can receive the gift of the aha that says, oh, that's right. Let me have patience with the process and the journey I'm on. Because how many times have you started something and then you maybe put it aside and then all of a sudden you went back to it, got it done, and boom, bang, it was out there and you were like, wow, that was the time for it, right? So divine timing is playing a role here. And so I feel like Jophiel is just reminding you to get out in nature, to receive the wisdom, to receive the guidance, the messages, even the electromagnetic energy that nature can offer you to fill you up, to fill your chi. One of the things that, I forgot to mention in the beginning that's coming up now is cleansing, clearing, and protection exercises are really important right now. And there's a lot of different kinds of clearing and releasing energy techniques. For you Earth Angels, I would encourage you to explore beyond the basics, right? I watched a class last night and I was reminded of like how we grow and assimilate and the tools that we use. And he had talked about the white light energy, and it's a great introductory it's a great introductory tool, but at some point, the more you get deeply involved in spiritual practices and working with people, especially those of you out there who are working with other people, who are doing healing work, intuitive work, I would encourage you to explore more advanced techniques. Not saying like white light and things like that isn't great, because it is for beginners, right? So understand that, nature has a way of protecting itself, right? Nature has a way of preserving itself energetically. So, especially now that we're in this full moon in Scorpio energy, it's a really great time to surrender and release and purge. I cannot say enough about Steve Noble's. I don't get any proceeds for promoting his stuff. It's just phenomenal work. It's powerful. It all happens on a subtle level. So going to Steve Noble's page and exploring some releasing, some attachment releases, cord cutting meditations, healing the bloodlines with generational, ancestral stuff, especially with the mother and father. That's all really good right now. And he uses advanced tools. And really all you have to do is kind of like sit and listen. Understand that the changes happen on a subtle level, so you don't know it until you know it, and then you're like, oh wow, that was powerful. So like I said, I feel like this message just kind of like fragmented in many different ways. Maybe getting yourself some flowers this week. Maybe you'll get flowers this week, or maybe you have flowers outside that are blooming that you can appreciate the gift of nature. All right, let's see here. Flower therapy. What action steps can support you this week? What action steps can you take that will support you this week? Oh, your wishes are coming true. Sweet pea. It says what your heart has been longing for is getting closer each day. So what I get from this, and it's not lost on me, there is no action to take. Patience, get out in nature, right? Stop glorifying the busy works, the busy times. Take charge of your schedule and incorporate in rest, surrender, sleep, pause, quiet, nothingness, right? Because I feel like this is the overall, like the divine is saying, your wishes are coming true. There's nothing that you have to do right now. That's kind of funny how that all just unfolded, because I was kind of like saying, don't do anything, and then what action steps can we take? So it didn't really make sense until it made sense. So your wishes are coming true. If you were meant to be anywhere else, you would, right? And I know that as a sensitive person, a lot of you have the 3, right? Expression and sensitivity is one of your life lessons. It's part of your life path numbers. So many of you have the 3, or you've got the 7 with trust and openness, or you've got the 9 that's integrity and wisdom, right? So many of you have come to this planet to experience like the spiritual life here, right? This is why we have these gifts of sensitivity and intuition and insight and foresight and prophecy and all these wonderful gifts that have been dormant on this planet for way too long. I won't even get into that. So understand, your wishes are coming true based on how you want to feel, right? If you want to feel financially free, put that out to the ethers. I want to feel financially free. I want to feel strong in my body. I want to feel healthy and alive. I want to feel like I'm being of service. I want to feel like my work matters. And then let the universe figure out how that comes to you, right? It could be helping somebody in a grocery store, guided to share money with someone, or it could be being guided to a class or a service or something that will be a stepping stone to the next step, right? But we've got to pay attention and avoid getting too distracted in the 3D world. I don't know if I know some of you who are watching know that I had deactivated my social media platforms it was January 1st. I was guided when I came into this year to just detox from everything. So I deactivated LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and for no other reason than I was guided to. And my heart, at the time I was just detoxing, and I have embraced all these words: rest, pause, sleep, quiet, stillness, surrender, as I've gotten away from the noise. I didn't realize I was in the noise until the noise wasn't there, and I'm like, oh boy, I like this. So, I've been able to explore so many other things being off of those, let's say, platforms. I didn't know if I was going to go back to it or not. I'm still in a place where I'm like, I'm all set. But listen, because of that, I've been able to do other things that I wasn't aware that things like that. And there's many other things. I'm not saying social media is good or bad, but I have realized how precious my time is. And I have realized what I can accomplish when I focus my energies in certain areas, right? And it has been many months. We're in May here, so it's been 5 months of contemplation. It's been 5 months of reading. It's been 5 months of taking courses. And I can tell you my life has changed significantly because of it. Now, this isn't telling anybody what to do or not, but again, pay attention. The universe will tell you, or your guides will tell you, what you need to turn your energy away from and what you need to move more towards. I literally had a book that was handed to me. I was at a friend's cookout. It was like the first of the season, and she literally handed me this book that I took to Sedona with me, and it's been life-changing. So, well, for me, anyways, especially with my course of action and where I'm going in my life and what my journey is about. And I don't think I would have experienced that had I not eliminated a lot of the noise that was in my life. Again, that was like self-imposed. So anyway, overall prayer. All right, Jophiel, what is your overall prayer for the beautiful Earth Angels that are watching this week? Caregivers, healers, Lightworkers, intuitives, highly sensitive people, empathic people, the lovers. What message do you have for them? What prayer are you gifting them with this week? All the other ones just kind of popped out, so I'll see that. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. I love it. I've seen them. All right, the divine physician. So Archangel Raphael, friends. So Archangel Raphael is the angel of miracles. He was the angel that was profound. He did some magical things when we were in Sedona for the group and myself. I've been working with Archangel Raphael lately. He's been coming up with my sessions with clients. His color is emerald green. I learned last night that if you purchase a green stone, it should be placed on your non-dominant hand, middle finger. And that can either be, we talked about protection earlier, that could be another way to protect yourself. So if you have a green stone or you make jewelry, I know there's jade, there's jade, there's emerald, there's a ton of green, malachite, there's beautiful types of green stones. So again, it can facilitate miracles, but it's also healing, right? So the message here says, thank you, Raphael, for shining your divine light upon my healthy body, right? So there's the caduceus here. This is also another symbol. Okay, so if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling overworked, if you're feeling stressed, you can visualize, pretend, or imagine this caduceus in your body just like this, right? From the throat all the way down to the root chakra. And just imagine that green healing light filling your body to overflow. Now, I would suggest sitting down and putting your feet up. There's some symbolism in putting your feet up, I find. You know, when I need to rest, I lay down on my couch and I put my feet on the armrest. and I just find that when I want to go get up, right, and go distract myself, my feet up on the armrest and like elevated is like a reminder of what I'm supposed to be doing. Breathing, relaxing, surrendering, and exploring how I'm feeling, having dialogue with these inner parts of me that are acting, at odds with each other. So you're being gifted also with the Archangel Raphael with this week. And this could also be something physical, right? So if it is physical in nature, well, if it's physical in nature, not this kind of nature, but in nature, oh gosh, if it's physical, if your situation is physically related to the physical body, you can also turn to nature, right? There's healing medicines, there are essential oils, there's holistic healing, there's tinctures, there's holistic therapists and practitioners out there, there's energy work. So I feel like you're also being gifted with the healing qualities that nature can give us, again, in plants and herbs and teas and things like that. So again, having patience with your journey if this is connected to the physical body. I've been having a cup of tea every night before I go to bed, and that's kind of like my goddess me time, and I read and it just feels so sacred and it feels so lovely, and I feel just like I've taken care of myself at a deep core level, and it just feels good and my body loves it. So the final message, friends, of course, the mic drop, right? They're always good about giving us the mic drop, is synchronicity. Here it is, the balance of the masculine, the feminine, the masculine in the feminine, right? Here we're at. And this is also, my symbolism of the divine, right? The father, mother, love, right? It's the union of these energies, right? So for me, when I think about God, source, creator, when I think about father, mother, love, and it being like, God, two sides of the same coin. For me, it's no longer a single entity. For me, I feel like my faith, if you want to call it, I don't really know. There isn't a label for it yet. I'm working on that. And what I share with you, for me, it feels like not just an entity, a being outside of me, which a lot of times we can interpret. For me, it feels like a way of life. Like this is a lifestyle. It's a way of being. And I think this is, I was saying a couple of years ago that God was getting ready to turn that key and activate our energy, and we're being the embodiment. And instead of the teachers in the old traditional way, like, here's the books, this is what I'm telling you, we are the embodiment and living financially free and abundant and happy and joyful and full of laughter and adventure and a play. We're working on our own stuff, right? We're clearing out the residual, the pain, and turning the pain into our power. And in turn, we become whole and complete individuals. We're like, okay, I've told you till I'm blue in the face and nothing's changing, so now I'm just going to go do it myself. I'm just going to make something happen, right? And this is what's happening now. So if you can understand, like, this is a way of being. It's a lifestyle that you get to design, that you get to create for yourself. The message here is saying, thank you, angels. I trust your well-timed guidance and signs, right? So when we see the signs, when we see the animal medicine, when we see the numbers, it's helping us. It's kind of like a pathway. I keep saying, follow the leads of the Holy Spirit, right? The Holy Spirit is tossing out these leads and opening doors. It's like one step at a time so that we can restore this within ourselves. And then, when you feel good, the people around you feel good. And when they feel good, the people around them feel good. When I feel good, you feel good. And it just all feels good, right? And we create this vibration of peace on earth, knowing that the more we want, the more things need to shift, change, evolve, and grow. And this year is learning about how to lean into change, being able to lean into what that looks like, right? Being able to lean into those challenging, difficult experiences and gaining empowerment from it. I mean, it's so incredible. Remember, like, the difficulties that you're having in your life, your challenges, it's your greatest teacher right now. So, if we're so focused on or so attached, like if we're so outcome attached, right? If we're so attached to the end result of something, we're going to miss unconsciously, unknowingly, all the things that we're learning along the way. And this is kind of like the new way of living. The spiritual journey is like, it's just that. It's a journey. It's a step-by-step process of life. And, fortunately, there's a large part of the population in this world who is still fixated on the end result or the goal or the hunt or the chase or the outcome. And when you do that, though, I'm not saying it's wrong, but it can be exhausting, because when you do that, everything you do for that end result, it's like you're doing something to get something. Instead of allowing things to unfold naturally and trusting, it's like forcing something to happen. And when, so many times I've seen people experience and manifest things, and it's like, oh, this isn't what I expected. Why am I still not happy? Why am I still angry? Why am I still confused? Why am I still wanting more? Why am I, right? And so, and this is the human experience we get to have. You've come into this life with a treasure map. There's a start and there's an end. But the way you get there, right, in this lifetime, the way you learn those things that you've come into this life to learn about, and that's what my life purpose sessions are about, is giving you just like the roadmap. But understand the way you get there, the way you learn and grow through those experiences can happen in an infinite amount of ways. There's like 100 million ways that you can do that, and that's our free will, right? So we can make things more difficult unknowingly, or we can ride the wave, right? And again, it's life homework, it's practice. I mean, I feel like I'm getting better at it, and then I get a curveball, and I'm like, oh gosh, will I ever get this? But what happens is over time, the way I move through it and the challenge I have lessens. It lessens the impact and speeds up the recovery process. So I have more and more good stretches, let's say, or I have more and more peaceful experiences where I'm more in flow and excited and learning than, like, I have more peaks in my life, let's say, than valleys, right? And I know that it's part of the journey, but each time I'm in a valley, I've learned incredible life skills that can get me through that valley. I've learned that I need my water, and I need my food, and I need my, my tools and things to get through the valley, right? The drought. And then it's only a matter of time before you ride the wave back up again. So I said a lot of things. I feel like I'm just going to leave that there. Beautiful messages. Of course, I don't say this enough, but I encourage you to. It's no coincidence. There's this ring right here. It kind of looks like the moon. Anyway, I also would encourage you, and I don't say this enough, to pause the video here and just sit with the energies that are on the table, or take a screenshot and let the messages speak to you. I mean, I'm channeling from a higher perspective of like reaching a large amount of people now and in the future. But sitting with these cards, you can get personal information that can touch your heart and wisdom as well. So, and this is why I encourage you to come back, or when you are challenged or you're struggling, go into the videos that I've put in the playlist of pick a cards and weekly readings. Go back through them, because there's more. There's so many layers in these readings that I'm doing. It's really magnificent. So anyway, let me close space thanking all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light that would like to assist, or that assisted with this guidance for you today. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, if you like this style, I encourage you to subscribe. It helps me. It keeps me, in your feed. It helps other people see these videos. If it resonated with you, clicking the like, all the things I appreciate. And if I can be of service, if I can support you in any way, if you want a one-on-one session, or you're wanting to dig into a certain area and learn more about the spiritual journey. Maybe you've done a lot of the inner work. Maybe you've done a lot of the inner child work. Maybe you've done a lot of the, okay, I know because of this and because of that. The work that I do is like, okay, how do we take that and transform it and move forward? How do we now create something from it? That's the work that I do in a spiritual sense, right? So I will encourage you to work with the feminine energy and the masculine energy, and I will talk about, father, mother love. I mean, that's just, for me, I just feel like that's the way, especially if you're watching these videos. So that is a part of the work that I do. But all that information is in the notes down below. So thank you so much for watching. I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine. Trust your intuition. And I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.